Today we're exploring one of the greenest places on earth, Ireland's Killarney National Park. It's home of 15th century castles, some pretty intense mountains to climb, and so much more. We're Chris and Melissa. Back in July 2021, we sold our house, loaded up our truck, and set out on a slow travel adventure searching for great food and fun times to share. Right now, we're living in Kinsale, Ireland. Killarney National Park is about a 2-hour drive from us, making it a great day trip destination.
How much does it cost to visit this beautiful place? Nothing. Not €1. There weren't any parking fees or admission tickets. All we had to pay for was the food we ate. Oh, and the castle tour.
Those pretty intense mountains that I mentioned are the McGillycuddy Reeks, Ireland's highest mountain range. We don't have any time to climb them during this visit because there are so many other things we want to see and so little time. We have 6 fun things on our list to get done today, starting with Ross Castle.
I love castles.
He does. Ross Castle was built in the 15th century by Irish chieftain O'Donoghue Moore. It was the last to hold out in Munster against Oliver Cromwell's forces during the 11 Years' War. There was a prophecy that the castle could only be taken by ship. Knowing this, in 1652, a Cromwellian commander launched a large boat onto the lake. When Ross Castle's defenders saw it, they surrendered swiftly.
So we're excited about Ross Castle because it's restored and they have like a lot of the original furniture, or what it would seem to be original furniture.
I believe it's original 16th century furnishings,
Okay.
But we'll learn more when we're inside.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% on that.
We've circled the whole castle and we can't find the entrance. No place to pay for a ticket. Unfortunately, this was the only place we could record within the castle.
I'm so sorry we couldn't bring you in with us, but there are rules about cameras inside. What did you think about seeing the furnished place?
I thought it was very interesting. The tour is definitely worth it. It's not very expensive, and you learn so much about the way life was for people in the 1400s, the 1500s. We have it pretty easy.
Oh my goodness, do we ever.
The coolest thing I learned is they didn't have glass for windows. And what did they use? The innards of animals.
Tough people.
And this is how the rich people lived. Another cool thing was, learning that about 3,500 of these, what are really called tower houses, were built back in the 1400s and 1500s. And it was a way to live here in Ireland. Most of them have fallen to ruins because in the 1800s, it was like, that's not a nice place to live. And
they didn't want to get taxed on those not so nice places
Yes.
to live, so they took the roofs off to avoid the taxes.
Yeah, you don't have a roof, you don't get taxed. So I'd have to say that's definitely a thumb up above. That was a good time.
For
Ross
sure.
Castle.
Get the tour. Completely worth it.
Oh, hey, do you remember the one word that we learned?
Gauche?
No, that with the chick.
Oh, Machichination.
Chickenation.
Machichination.
That little thing right up there. The opening is a machichination, and they could pour hot oil or shoot down at their enemies. Crazy. I'm glad we don't have to live like that nowadays.
Oh, yes.
Okay, let's go. We're trying to hit 6 things. That's number 1.
We are often hesitant to eat at spots that are in national parks or at tourist locations because oftentimes the food isn't so desirable. However, I have read fantastic reviews of the Muckross Garden Restaurant, so we're gonna go ahead and give it a try. You can already see I'm a little bit nervous.
The Muckross Garden Restaurant offers quite a lot of options in its fast casual cafeteria style setup. I couldn't resist, but I went healthy because there's like this strip of fruit here. So soft. More fruit filling.
I don't know how I'm supposed to
So it's hard?
Well, yeah, it's a meringue for sure.
Okay.
Like there's creamy goodness. I can tell there's something like orange. Like I wonder if there's an orange or something in it. Or like slices of fruit on the other side that I can't see. I'm not sure. But, or no, maybe that's just a hollow hole. Okay, yeah, it's just a hollow hole. I didn't want to like leave you in suspense. But yeah, it's really good. It's not like any dessert I've typically had. I don't even really know what the name of it is. It's meringues on two sides, cream in the middle, some fruit on top. Yeah. Were you delighted by the meal?
I was delighted. I was surprised by the amount of sweets and delicious little treats.
There were so many to choose from.
Tasty. And then the wraps that I got, I'd had at
Killarney Castle?
Yeah, I'd actually had those at Killarney Castle, and they were good.
I had a ham sandwich from here with some Edam cheese on it. So delicious. Yeah. It's just, sometimes it's what you need.
So I'd have to say for a tourist spot and just, you know, kind of a cafeteria style setup, it's some good quality stuff. Yeah, I'm happy.
And the surroundings are quite lovely.
Yeah, quite lovely.
Thumb up of them.
Thumb up of them. Honey, I have spotted the ultimate bench.
We are going to take a look at the outside of Muckross House and get over to Muckross Abbey. Those are the two next things on our list. One fun fact about Muckross House is that they built an additional wing onto it in order to welcome Queen Victoria. She stayed there for one night, an entire wing, like huge. They also had to put a fire escape onto the back of the wing because she had a completely irrational fear of fires.
So she was kind of a big deal.
She was, and apparently the owner spent a little bit more than they had in order to gain her approval and thought he might become a lord, but then did not.
It's a cautionary tale right there.
That right there is the fire escape that they added onto the house for Queen Victoria's visit.
I was expecting some way high up fire escape, elaborate chutes and ladders, and that's it.
That is it. But if there wasn't that, you know, she would have had to jump down out of the window, and being a queen and all, I don't think she did those sorts of things.
Melissa, you should show us what the queen would do. Queen, there's a fire! That'd be quite a view if we lived there.
I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, not at all. If you guys have ever watched any of our hiking videos, you know exactly what's going on now. Who's carrying all the stuff? Who's not? There seems to be nothing on your back.
I have a big sturdy man. We're headed to Muckross Abbey. It was founded in the 14th century by Franciscan Observantine monks, and it came under attack so many times. They were looted off and on forever.
Because they had all the goods or something?
I believe so. And then finally, and I believe it was 1652 or thereabouts, Cromwell burned the place to the ground. It was restored again, but the monks never returned.
Cromwell sounds like kind of a jerkwad.
He was the most hated man in Ireland.
I can see why.
Yeah. The trail we're on, Dinah's Loop Walk, is an easy way to get to the rest of the spots on our itinerary.
I don't know if you guys could tell that was something like a stone wall. And I wonder how many things here in Ireland people don't even know why it was there, what the history of it is. You know what I mean? It's an interesting place. being that we're from Minnesota, we thought this was kind of interesting.
The first monastery is said to have been built here by Saint Vianen sometime in the 6th century. The graveyard next to it holds the remains of local chieftains and Gaelic poets. It's still used for burials today.
These ruins were originally built in the 15th century. However, it endured many raids. It was rebuilt, restored, and again ruined in the 17th century.
We now 100% know what a yew tree looks like. This is a yew tree growing in the center of the abbey.
What do you think this area was?
I'm thinking it was their entertainment area because it's on the upper level. There's a fireplace. You could put a dining table.
The Grand Hall, do you think?
That sort of thing, yes. Am I right?
I think you are, but there's no signs to tell us. It amazes me that we can explore this place without a tour guide or a ticket. People are just walking around and going where they want to go. It's quite an experience. This place just keeps getting more and more awesome.
I have no idea what they did here.
I think there were floors here, Becky, because you can see holes in the wall where wood beams would be.
But where would people enter? Or maybe there'd just be ladders to the different level?
Or wood stairs.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you think these are murder holes?
I don't. I wonder if they're just a little later.
This place, thumb up a bump. Oh my gosh. I too own. I think we got it too.
It's time for destination number 5, Dinah's Cottage, the Meeting of the Waters, and Old Weir Bridge.
So do you think this is one of the greenest places on earth?
Yes. Do you?
I'm starting to think so. The rocks have lichen on them. The trees are everywhere. The grass everywhere. The only thing that isn't green are the stone walls like this.
What I'm loving is all of the different shades of green everywhere, the different levels of vibrancy and richness, and it's fantastic.
Look at you. You even wore a green shirt.
It looks like we are getting closer to Dinah's Cottage and the Meeting of the Waters, and Old Weir Bridge is supposed to be right next.
It's going to be exciting. However, it was just a sign. It didn't tell us how far we had to go. There still might be like 5 kilometers.
We're at least going in the right direction.
Yeah, that's positive. Civilization.
I'm going to say that was a little bit dramatic given that we've been on a paved path the entire time and have seen others the entire time we've been here.
Dinah's Cottage dates back to the 1700s. It may have been a hunting lodge or a woodcutter's hut, or maybe both. It's a great place to grab a snack midway through a day's adventure.
I believe we are now at the Meeting of the Waters. There's Old Weir Bridge, I think. There aren't signs making it super evident, but we have our handy dandy map, and I think that's what it must be.
Look at this. So over here, it's the meeting of 3 lakes. So water source here, right there. And then one behind you, hun. See? And then there's one over there. So it's gotta be.
I think so.
Let's just say it is. Melissa asked this wise man if that was actually the meeting of the 3 lakes. And he confirmed it was, so good job, we did it.
On to Old Weir Bridge, the last part of our 5th stop.
It's an extremely old bridge, and it's just weird to think, you know, the path that we just walked through, suddenly you would walk through that path and see a bridge or feel the need to make a bridge. You know what I mean?
Oh, like who was getting through and needed a bridge as sturdy as this one?
It's just like, that's a lot of effort to make that bridge, and that path was like all white. I couldn't see a cart going through that path or anything like that, you know what I mean? Or a horse-drawn carriage or anything.
Right, maybe just someone on horseback.
Yeah,
even that would be a
yeah.
bit of a challenge,
Yeah.
but...
So maybe that's what it was built for. It's just people on horseback. Wow. Phew, that's another big check right off our list. Now,
Torque Waterfall.
waterfall. We love waterfalls. The path has gotten really interesting. There's so many of these trees where you can barely even see through. They're so dense.
The way their branches wind about in like curlicues almost.
It's kind of eerie, but yet beautiful. It'd be very easy to hide in.
That's what Chris thinks about me
Yes.
hiding.
Do you want to hide? Let's play hide and seek.
No,
Let's play hide and seek, all right?
I'll stick to the trail, thank you.
I'd go hide and you would like not even go out and try to find me. I'd be sitting there for hours. Are you listening for the waterfall, honey?
Trying to.
There's a highway close to us, so we kind of hear the hum of cars. There should be a waterfall any moment now. I have a prediction that this waterfall will not be like the waterfalls we saw in Iceland. It's just a prediction.
Or Niagara Falls.
Yes, probably not like Niagara Falls. Or probably not even like, what was that one in Canada? It was higher than Niagara Falls.
Montmorency.
Montmorency. We've seen some waterfalls. Torque Waterfall, a little different than the waterfalls we've seen. It just feels like the rocks here are super old. You know what I mean? I know all rocks are super old, but like the rocks in Iceland are much newer, aren't they?
Well, I suppose because they came up from
See?
volcanoes
That's-
more recently.
Okay.
All right, you've got that.
Torque Waterfall, I think a nice, pleasant little waterfall to go check out. I'll give it a thumb up above.
If you've enjoyed watching our adventure here, be sure to check out what we did over at Killarney Castle.
And check out the adventure we had in Iceland with this playlist over here.
So good.